on, chat with CD Shave, and thank you very much for joining me for today's face shave. It's badly needed. As you can see, I can practically pull the whiskers right off my face. Before we get into that, let's get right into the holiday of the day. Today is National Badger Day. That's right, the badger, the animal that provides us with some of our higher end, more quality, as it were, shave knots. There's a caveat to that, however, in my opinion. We'll get into that a little bit later. So happy National Badger Day. I thought this was appropriate since badger is obviously a wet shaving theme. And we'll go with that. So let's move on to the shave. Today we are trying out for the second time, because I've used this once before, not on camera. I've been using Cherry City Soapworks. There's their items right here. Willamette Woods is what Willamette Woods is what I've been shaving with. This was given to me by a subscriber to try and give my honest opinion on this. So that's what we're doing today. The scent, as far as I'm concerned, is a 3 on the scent scale. It's not very strong. It is somewhat masculine, but it's not that impressive. It's very, very light. It's supposed to remind you, according to the website, of walking right out of the woods. To me, the lack of significant fur or pine out of that doesn't really remind me of walking out of the woods. It's just got kind of a slight wood scent to it. Yeah, even when it's smashed out into my bowl, I don't really get that. Sometimes when you smash a soap out, you get the extra notes that are coming out of it. Speaking of notes, I couldn't tell you what the notes are actually specifically on this because they're not listed on the website. I'll tell you it is a vegan-based soap, but that's as far as I can go with that. The ingredients I was able to locate, and I put them in the description below. They're not listed on the website. I kind of saw them on a picture of the label that they've got on their website, but again, that's that. So, as you can see, the soap has been smashed into my bowl. It's quite a large sample because we had a lot of stuff to take care of. Speaking of taking care of the face, we're going to go with our gold monkey or gold dollar razor today, honed by moi, because I need some weight behind it. I need something a little bit of heft to get rid of some of this hair. And speaking of hair, the brush, which has been soaking in my occupation mug, we're going with EB Latheworks Pure Badger Autumn Bliss brush. For the aftershave, we obviously always go with Jack Daniel's bottle full of Thayer's Witch Hazel with the peach scented. We're getting low, we're almost gone with that. And that's good because I don't really care for the peach scent, as a lot of you who watch my videos know. Now, I don't have the matching aftershave to this soap, so we're going to go with what I have that I think fits best, which is cedar based. This is Woody Wagon by Through the Fire Fine Craft. They have a good aftershave. It always treats me well. Figured I'd throw that right on. And we're hoping to have a good shave here. So, we're going to get the lather in the bowl going, get things set up, get things ready to go, and we'll do a couple of passes, and then we'll take a break and hit the post-shave and give our thoughts on this shaving soap. Be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. As you can see, the lather's been completed. A little bit of a peak there. And that's our brush. All completely loaded up, ready to go. So, as you can see, it appears to make a good lather. Wet the face a little bit. Now let's get this going here. So, this soap, as I said, is Cherry City Shave Products. It's owned by Jim Scott at cherrycityshaveproducts.com. They offer a variety of shave beard products there on the website. That's kind of their claim to fame. The story behind them is typical. Wanted a better shave product, so made one, or at least in his opinion, and went from there. It comes in a 12 ounce, or it's $12 for a 3 ounce container of the shave soap. They offer it with a pairing aftershave. That's for $24, and that comes in a 4 ounce container. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't have that. All right. So the first time I shaved with this, I did not have an overly great experience. And actually, I've shaved with it 3 times. This is the 3rd time. The first couple times I did not have an overly great experience with it, but I thought tried couple of different things, and we're going to give it one last shot here, and then give my basic opinion on it. So, let's go with the first pass, shall we? While we're doing that, let's give a little conversation to my caveat that I was mentioning before. Now it is National Badger Day. Badgers are important for making shea brushes, but to be honest with you, after I procured my first couple of badger brushes, I was doing a little bit of research on badger, and come to find out there's not a whole lot of use for them other than to make shaving brushes. The pelts get used, but on a very limited sense. And I was very surprised to hear that. So, I kind of thought they might be a byproduct, like some of the animal fats. But comes to find out, they have badger farms just for making brushes in some places of the world. Which I think is kind of lame, honestly. But they are nice. I'll give you that. I have a couple. They were gifts to me. And they shave well, or they perform well. Here's the thing, though. If you're getting into wet shaving, one of the things that if you Google it, you'll see that people say, you know, the general websites that say, oh, the best way to wet shave is this. You know, that's from like menshealth.com or whatever. Like, they know, really. Anyway, and they'll tell you to use a badger brush. Some of them will. I'm not saying that particular company does, but companies like that will tell you to use a badger brush. I'm going to tell you to use a synthetic. Because if you're just getting into wet shaving, I'm going to tell you right now, badger brushes or real hair brushes are not necessary. Especially with the way synthetics are right now. I mean, take this synthetic from West Coast Shaving. Synthetic knotted brush. This is the second generation Boss knot. This is a fantastic knot. It's got plenty of backbone. You can get a hold of some of the most triple milled soaps out there, the hardest ones out there. You can use this on those. I've used this on all kinds of soaps. I've never had an issue. This is a great performing brush, and they're cheap as hell. I forget how much it is, but it's like it's under $30 at least. I won't even say it's under 20, I think, but after shipping and stuff, and after, you know, the 3 years it takes to come in the mail nowadays. It's not a dig on West Coast Shaving, it's a dig on the post office. So, actually, you know, we're done with that pass. Let's throw a little water in the face. Anyway, so I mentioned a little bit last week about new wet shavers and how it's not necessary to have high-end products, and it's not. And a synthetic brush is kind of a perfect example. You can get what you might consider high-end synthetic, but usually that's because of the handle it's attached to. Most synthetic knots are cheap as hell. So I would caution anybody that's getting into this to jumping into a decent bag. Because the other thing too is you can get a cheap badger brush, and you're gonna regret it. The cheaper badger brushes are not that good to use, In my opinion, they don't perform well. They don't make good lathers. And by cheap, I mean the stuff you find on Amazon. This is a Badger brush from West Coast Shaving. And this is actually a good knot. Performs quite well. There's that break-in period and all that, but it works well. So if you go to buy your first shaving brush, synthetic all day long. No break-in period. No maintenance. Virtually no shedding. And I say no shedding because, I mean, there are some synthetics that will shed. You know, I've had synthetics so the hairs have come off for one reason or another, but virtually no shedding. And you basically open the package and go. There's no, you don't have to worry about soaking it, none of that. You open that box and start right off. And I think when you're starting any kind of hobby, of any kind, plug and play is always a good thing. And synthetics are essentially plug and play. And you can do, because the knots are fairly inexpensive, you can really go crazy if you wanted to splurge and have like a nice custom handle done for yourself. And that's where you can dump the money into. And it'll come out really cool. All right. First couple passes, I'm not all that impressed with. This soap leaves virtually zero residual slickness. What's on there, because I've rubbed it in from the existing soap, yeah, there's hardly any residual slickness on the soap at all. But we'll save the rest of my comments for the post shave. We're going to go ahead and finish up this shave, and then we'll see you guys in a second. Be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. As you can see, the shave has been completed-ish. Yeah, I say ish. I didn't actually... It's not super smooth. I didn't push it at all. In fact, I'm a little irritated, to be honest with you. So we're going to go ahead and throw on some of this witch hazel. This has kind of been par for the course for me with these guys. The shaving is not... The soap is just not all that dense. I mean, it looks the part... But really, I don't believe that it holds a whole lot of water, or a whole lot of hydration to it, because there's virtually no residual slickness at all when I go to use it, unfortunately. It just doesn't have anything to it. And I go to take the, I shave down and I feel my skin afterwards. I can literally pull my skin without having to worry about my fingers sliding around or anything to that nature at all. I mean, I just don't. I don't feel like it's there. I think the soap is headed in the right direction. I think a lot of work needs to be done to it. That's just in my opinion. However, I throw on the traditional witch hazel. Let's go ahead and with the aftershave. The scent on the soap was not all that great. It was there, but I felt like it was very unimpressive. It was something I've smelled before. It wasn't something that I smelled and I thought to myself, wow, I really feel like I'm walking out of the woods. It just kind of has a basic cookie cutter wood scent to it. That the post shave feels real nice on this because it's needed. My face was really kind of irritated from that. In fact, it's a little bit red from that shave, and that happened the last couple times I've used it as well. So overall, my opinion on this particular shave soap is just not all that good. I would not necessarily recommend it. I can't do that. I call it as I see it. I've said in couple of my videos leading up to stuff like this that, guys, I was going to start really giving my 2 cents as far as some of these performers are concerned, because honestly, there's so many soaps out there. There's so many great performing soaps out there that if you're going to hit the market with something, you really got to be on your A game, or it's just not going to do well. Or if it does, it's not going to do as well as it could. This is definitely headed in the right direction. I just think that there's a lot of improvements need to be done to it before I could call it a really nice, decent soap and recommend it. The scent on the aftershave, however, is really nice. But having said that, I am going to use a little bit of unscented balm from Artisan Soap Shop. This has kind of been the name of the game for me as well with this. I never use a balm. But I kind of have to with this. If you are going to try this soap, or you have it in your wheelhouse and you haven't had a chance to get to it yet, I would at least recommend a pre-shave oil, something. Maybe you can even add, sometimes I have a little bit of a bottle of this for underperforming soaps in my shave den. This stuff is pretty cheap to get a hold of at your local drugstore. It's glycerin. Add a couple of drops to that. Try to get it to work a little bit better. Give you just that little extra slickness that you're going to need, in my opinion, with this particular soap, especially with a straight razor shave. Anyway, so that is my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. If you have any questions about this soap or anything at all for me in that matter, put it down in the comment section below. I'll get to it as soon as I can. I know I have a couple of other comments I haven't gotten to yet. There's one particular long one of my last videos. I'm going to dignify that with also a long response. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and type that. So just wait for it. It's coming. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Make sure you knock that bell. That way you get a notification every time I do a new video here at CD Shaving, because I do not follow a schedule. Don't want you to miss anything. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a shave today, have a great shave. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you guys and girls in the next video.